Welcome coin lovers. Today's video is going to be amazing. We will talk about 4 special American coins: the 1979 D1 dollar, the 1980 P1 dollar, coins from the Washington era between 1789 and 1797, and the 2000 P1 dollar. Stay tuned till the end. The 1979 D1 dollar. The 1979 D1 dollar coin is one of the most fascinating pieces of American numismatic history, widely known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar. This coin was first minted in 1979, and the D mint mark represents that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The Susan B. Anthony dollar replaced the Eisenhower dollar, and it was the very first U.S. coin to honor a real historical woman. On the obverse side of the coin, we see a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, a leader of the women's suffrage movement who played a critical role in securing the right to vote for women in the United States. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" are inscribed on the front, with the date 1979 clearly placed below the bust. This design choice was intended to highlight both America's commitment to liberty and the recognition of Susan B. Anthony's contributions to democracy. On the reverse side of the coin, the design is a modified version of the Apollo 11 mission insignia, showing an American eagle landing on the moon with an olive branch in its claws. This design was originally used on the Eisenhower dollar, symbolizing peace, exploration, and American achievement in space. Surrounding the eagle are stars, representing the United States. The inscriptions include United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $1. The Denver Mint Mark D is found just above Anthony's shoulder on the obverse side, a detail that distinguishes the coin from those minted in Philadelphia or San Francisco. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was controversial at the time of its release because of its size and appearance. It was smaller than the Eisenhower dollar and very similar in size and color to the Washington quarter, which caused massive confusion in everyday transactions. Many people mistook the coin for a quarter, leading to widespread public dissatisfaction. As a result, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar saw limited circulation and failed to gain popularity. Despite this, the coin remains historically important as the first U.S. dollar coin featuring a woman, making it a significant collectible today. In terms of physical specifications, the 1979 D1 dollar coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad material, with an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The diameter of the coin is 26.5 millimeters, its weight is 8.1 grams, and it has a reeded edge with 150 reeds. These specifications were chosen to make the coin durable for circulation while keeping production costs low. The color is silvery, but since it is not actual silver, its intrinsic metal value is far lower than older silver dollars. Collectors prize it more for its numismatic significance than its metal content. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1979 D dollar is the variety and era coins. There are several known varieties, such as wide rim and narrow rim issues, but those are specific to the Philadelphia Mint. However, Denver Mint examples are still sought after in high grades. Era coins such as off-center strikes, die clashes, or coins struck on planches meant for quarters are extremely valuable to collectors. These rare minting mistakes can increase the value of the coin significantly, sometimes fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. When it comes to value, the 1979 D1 dollar in average circulated condition is usually worth around $1 to $2, just slightly above face value. However, in uncirculated condition, especially in mint state grades like MS65 or higher, the coin's value can rise substantially. For example, a 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar graded MS67 by PCGS or NGC can sell for $100 to $200, while superb gem examples in MS68 condition can bring in even higher prices. Proof-like strikes or coins with exceptional luster and eye appeal are particularly sought after by advanced collectors. The history behind this coin is equally fascinating. The idea of honoring Susan B. Anthony came at a time when the U.S. Mint wanted to modernize the dollar coin and promote gender equality. Many people considered it a bold move to place a suffragist on currency, as she was the first non-mythical female figure to appear on a U.S. circulating coin. Prior to her, Lady Liberty had been depicted symbolically, but Susan B. Anthony's portrait was a real-life recognition of a woman who changed history. This groundbreaking decision paved the way for future coins featuring women, such as Sacagawea and Native American dollars. Today, the 1979 D1 dollar is not only a collectible, but also an educational piece of American history. Coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and educators all recognize its importance. It represents a moment in U.S. culture when the mint experimented with new designs, honored a woman's contributions, and attempted to bring the dollar coin back into circulation. While the public rejected it at the time, modern collectors see it as a unique and historically significant coin that tells the story of changing values in American society. In summary, the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony $1 coin is a remarkable piece of American coinage. From its detailed design featuring Susan B. Anthony and the Apollo 11 insignia, to its copper-nickel-clad composition, mint errors, and collector value, this coin holds a special place in numismatic history. Even though it was unpopular in daily commerce, its legacy endures. Whether you own one as a keepsake, inherited it from a family member, or discovered it in circulation, this coin is a reminder of America's journey through equality, innovation, and numismatic tradition. 1980p $1. The 1980p $1 coin, also known as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, is one of the most interesting pieces of modern American coinage. The P mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, and this coin was part of the second year of production for the Susan B. Anthony dollar series. The series itself was historic, being the first time in U.S. history that a real, non-mythical woman appeared on circulating currency. Susan B. Anthony was a powerful advocate for women's suffrage, dedicating her life to the fight for women's right to vote. By choosing her image, the U.S. Mint recognized the enormous impact she had on American democracy. The obverse side of the 1980p dollar shows Anthony's right-facing portrait, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the inscriptions Liberty above her head, In God We Trust to the right, and the year 1980 below. The mint mark P is located just above Anthony's shoulder. The reverse side of the coin carries over the same design that had been used on the Eisenhower dollar, an eagle landing on the surface of the moon, clutching an olive branch, with Earth in the background. This image was based on the Apollo 11 mission insignia, a symbol of American space exploration and achievement. Surrounding the eagle are 13 stars representing the original colonies, along with the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and $1. This combination of Susan B. Anthony's portrait and the Apollo 11 eagle design gave the coin a powerful dual meaning, recognition of civil rights at home and celebration of scientific triumph abroad. The physical characteristics of the 1980p $1 are identical to other Susan B. Anthony dollars. It is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, with 75% copper and 25% nickel on the outside and a pure copper core. It has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, a weight of 8.1 grams, and a reeded edge with 150 reeds. Although it resembles silver in color, the coin contains no silver, which is one of the main reasons why its metal value is low. This makes the coin's worth entirely dependent on its numismatic interest rather than bullion content. Despite its historical importance, the Susan B. Anthony dollar, including the 1980p, was not well received by the public. People found it too similar in size and appearance to the Washington quarter, which led to frequent confusion in daily transactions. As a result, many of the coins were rejected by the public and ended up sitting in bank vaults. This lack of popularity means that most 1980p Susan B. Anthony dollars today are still found in excellent condition, since they were not widely circulated. For collectors, this creates an interesting situation where large quantities exist, but the challenge lies in finding the highest grade examples. The value of the 1980p $1 depends heavily on its condition and rarity of errors. In circulated condition, the coin is generally worth only about $1 to $2, just slightly above face value. However, uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher can be worth $10 to $20, and superb gems graded MS67 or MS68 can fetch much higher prices at auctions. Certain error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on planches intended for quarters or nickels, are extremely rare and highly prized. These error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the type and clarity of the mistake. One particularly interesting aspect of the 1980p issue is that, unlike the 1979 coins, there were no major wide rim or narrow rim varieties. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 27 million of these coins, making them quite common in general. However, the quality of the strikes varied, and collectors often look for coins with sharp details, clean surfaces, and strong luster. The Philadelphia Mint at that time was notorious for producing coins with bag marks or weak strikes, so finding a flawless example can be surprisingly difficult. Historically, The release of the 1980p $1 represents the U.S. Mint's continued effort to encourage the use of dollar coins in everyday commerce. Despite the failure of the 1979 release, the Mint hoped that continuing production would eventually lead to public acceptance. Unfortunately, the same problems persisted, and the Susan B. Anthony dollar remained unpopular throughout its circulation years. It was eventually discontinued in 1981, briefly revived in 1999 due to a shortage of dollar coins, and then replaced by the Sacagawea dollar in 2000. The Susan B. Anthony dollar series, including the 1980p, now stands as a unique chapter in U.S. coinage history. For coin collectors today, the 1980p Susan B. Anthony dollar holds significant value as a collectible piece, not because it is rare in quantity, but because it tells the story of an important experiment in U.S. currency. It reflects the social progress of honoring a woman on a coin, the technological pride of space exploration, and the economic struggles of introducing a coin that the public ultimately rejected. Every 1980p dollar in a collection is a reminder of these intersecting stories. In conclusion, the 1980p $1 Susan B. Anthony coin is far more than just a piece of metal. It represents an era of change, experimentation, and symbolism in American coinage. From its design honoring Susan B. Anthony and the Apollo 11 mission, to its physical details and collectible value, it stands as a fascinating artifact of U.S. history. While it may not be worth a fortune in most cases, its cultural and numismatic importance makes it a must-have for collectors. Whether you own one from circulation, inherited it from family, or purchased it as part of a set, this coin connects you directly to the story of America's evolving currency and values. $1 1789 to 1797 Washington. The story of the 1789 to 1797 George Washington $1 coin is one that connects deeply with the very foundation of the United States. George Washington was the first president of the United States, serving from 1789 until 1797, and his role in shaping the nation was monumental. While no official $1 coin was struck during his actual presidency, later coins were created to honor his legacy and the years of his leadership. These coins, often part of the presidential dollar series, feature Washington's portrait on the obverse side, with the inscriptions marking his years in office, 1789 to 1797. This makes the Washington $1 coin not just a piece of money, but a symbol of American independence, leadership, and democracy. Collectors highly value it for both its historical and numismatic importance. On the obverse side, George Washington is depicted in a strong, dignified profile, designed to capture the determination and vision of the man who led the nation through its earliest and most difficult years. The inscriptions include George Washington, the designation first president, and the years 1789 to 1797, representing his 2 terms in office. Unlike older symbolic figures such as Lady Liberty, this coin shows the portrait of a real historical figure who shaped the destiny of the United States. The reverse side of the coin typically features the iconic Statue of Liberty with a raised torch, symbolizing freedom and enlightenment. The inscriptions read United States of America and $1, making it both a functional piece of currency and a tribute to liberty. The composition of the Washington $1 coin varies depending on whether it is a business strike or a collector edition. Most circulation strikes are composed of a manganese brass-clad material, giving the coin its distinctive golden color. The diameter is 26.5 millimeters, the weight is 8.1 grams, and the coin has a plain edge with edge lettering, which includes the year of minting, mint mark, and the mottos E pluribus unum and In God We Trust. This edge lettering was one of the innovations of the presidential dollar series, making it different from traditional reeded edge coins. Although Washington himself opposed the idea of placing portraits of presidents on coins during his lifetime, preferring instead to use allegorical figures like Liberty, later generations chose to honor him directly on American money. This decision reflected the immense respect and admiration the nation felt for its founding father. The 1789 to 1797 Washington $1 coin became one of the most popular issues of the presidential dollar series, both because of Washington's historical importance and because it was the very first coin in the series, released in 2007. From a collector's standpoint, the value of the Washington $1 coin depends heavily on condition, strike quality, and whether the coin has any minting errors. Circulated examples are often worth around $1 to $2, but uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can be valued between $10 and $30. Proof versions, which were struck with special polished dies for collectors, are also highly prized and can bring in higher prices depending on rarity. Error coins, such as those missing edge lettering or with doubled inscriptions, are particularly valuable. Some Washington dollars with missing edge inscriptions have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Historically, the years 1789 to 1797 were transformative for America. George Washington led the country as its first president under the newly ratified Constitution, setting countless precedents that remain in place today. He helped establish the cabinet system, maintained neutrality in foreign conflicts, and guided the young republic through its fragile beginnings. These years marked the birth of a stable federal government, the formation of the Bill of Rights, and the strengthening of the Union. The Washington $1 coin serves as a reminder of these crucial years and the leadership that made them possible. The release of the Washington $1 coin also helped spark renewed interest in the presidential dollar program, which aimed to educate Americans about their leaders while also encouraging the use of dollar coins in everyday transactions. Although the series was not widely adopted for circulation and faced challenges similar to the Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea dollars, it succeeded in creating a legacy of collectible coins that preserve presidential history in a tangible form. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, the 1789 to 1797 George Washington $1 coin is more than just a piece of metal. It is a bridge between the nation's founding era and the modern world, reminding us of the leadership, sacrifice, and vision of the first president of the United States. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of history, a small but powerful reminder of how far the nation has come since its earliest days. In conclusion, the George Washington $1 coin bearing the years 1789 to 1797 is an extraordinary collectible that carries both numismatic and historical weight. From its detailed design and golden appearance to its value as a collectible and its symbolism as a tribute to America's founding, it holds a special place in American coinage. While Washington never lived to see his image on a coin, the decision to honor him in this way ensures that his legacy lives on in the hands of collectors, historians, and everyday Americans. It is not just a coin, it is a tribute to the man who defined the presidency and the years that shaped the nation. $1 2000p. The 2000p $1 coin, widely known as the Sacagawea dollar, is one of the most remarkable and symbolic issues in modern American coinage. The P mint mark signifies that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and 2000 was the very first year of issue for the Sacagawea dollar series. After the unpopularity of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the U.S. Mint decided to redesign the $1 coin to make it more appealing to the public and easier to distinguish from smaller denominations like the quarter. The new design honored Sacagawea, the Shoshone Native American woman who served as a guide and interpreter for the Lewis and Clark expedition. She became a symbol of courage, knowledge, and exploration, making her the perfect figure to feature on America's golden-colored dollar coin. On the obverse side of the 2000p dollar, Sacagawea is depicted in a graceful portrait designed by artist Glenna Goodacre. She is shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back, a detail that emphasizes her role not only as a guide but also as a mother who contributed to the success of one of the greatest expeditions in American history. Around her portrait are the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the date 2000. The mint mark P for Philadelphia is placed to the left of the portrait. This beautiful design was praised for its cultural significance and artistic execution, and it marked a new era in U.S. coinage. The reverse side of the coin, designed by Thomas D. Rogers, Sr., features a soaring bald eagle in flight, surrounded by 17 stars. These stars represent the number of states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The inscriptions read United States of America and $1, along with the motto E Pluribus Unum. The combination of Sacagawea on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse created a strong visual message of exploration, freedom, and national unity. Later years of the Sacagawea series would see changing reverse designs under the Native American dollar program, but the original 2000 design remains iconic. The composition of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar was another major innovation. Unlike earlier silver-colored dollars, the new coin had a distinctive golden appearance, created by using a clad mixture of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel. The core of the coin is pure copper, while the outer layer is 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel. The coin weighs 8.1 grams, has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and a plain edge without reading. The golden color was chosen to make the coin more attractive and easier to distinguish from quarters, while the plain edge gave it a unique feel. Despite the mint's efforts, the Sacagawea dollar, including the 2000p issue, faced many of the same challenges as earlier dollar coins. The American public simply did not adopt it widely in circulation. People preferred using paper dollar bills, and businesses were slow to encourage the use of dollar coins. As a result, millions of Sacagawea dollars sat unused in treasury vaults. However, collectors quickly developed an interest in the series, especially in the first-year 2000 issues, because of their historical importance and several exciting varieties. One of the most famous varieties of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is the Cheerios dollar. In 1999 and early 2000, the U.S. Mint partnered with General Mills to promote the new dollar coin by placing them in boxes of Cheerios cereal. About 5,500 coins were distributed this way, but some of them had a prototype reverse design with extra detail in the eagle's tail feathers. These coins, now known as Cheerios dollars, are extremely rare and valuable. While a regular 2000p Sacagawea dollar in uncirculated condition might be worth just a few dollars, a true Cheerios dollar can sell for $5,000 to $15,000 or more at auction, depending on condition. Another interesting variety from 2000 is the Wounded Eagle era. This occurs when a die scratch runs across the eagle's body, making it appear as though the bird has a scar or wound. Collectors pay high premiums for this variety, with values ranging from several hundred to several $1,000s depending on grade. Additionally, there are double die obverse and reverse errors, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchette, all of which make the 2000p issue especially appealing to error coin enthusiasts. In terms of general value, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is very common, as over 767 million coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In circulated condition, it is usually worth just face value. However, uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher can sell for $5 to $15, while superb gems in MS67 or MS68 can reach $100 or more. Special collector editions, such as proof strikes from the San Francisco Mint, are also in demand. But again, the most dramatic values come from rare error coins like the Cheerios dollar or Wounded Eagle. Historically, the release of the Sacagawea dollar in 2000 represented an important cultural shift in U.S. coinage. It was the first time a Native American woman was honored on a circulating coin, and it celebrated not only her contributions to the Lewis and Clark expedition, but also the broader history of Native American peoples in the story of America. The design reflected themes of exploration, motherhood, and unity, making it one of the most meaningful coins of modern times. Although it did not succeed in replacing the paper dollar in everyday use, it succeeded as a powerful symbol and as a collectible coin that continues to attract interest from numismatists. In conclusion, the 2000p Sacagawea $1 coin is an extraordinary piece of modern American coinage. From its golden color and artistic design to its varieties, errors, and historical symbolism, it holds a special place in numismatic history. It is a coin that tells a story, the story of a brave woman who guided explorers across an unknown continent, the story of America's effort to reintroduce the dollar coin, and the story of how collectors preserve pieces of history for future generations. Whether you own one from circulation, a special collector edition, or a rare variety like the Cheerios dollar, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is far more than just money. It is a treasure of American history.